If you ladies and germs out there appreciate us like we appreciate you, then why don't you scurry on over to that subscribe button and help us out.
You good?
Oh, I am disco.
On that note. Welcome to the Jacob and Nick Show.
Sleep, 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 beep, 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 sleep, beep, 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 beep,
Big old Nick here.
even bigger Jake.
Slightly bigger Nick on this side again.
Oh. And lock yourself in there for the biggest Jacob.
We got quite a show for you today.
Do we ever?
I'm glad you stopped by. Today, Jacob and Nick talk about...
Ocean's 8.
Check the map!
Nicky boy, tell us everything you know about Ocean's 8.
Absolutely jack squat. Is this the same Oceans of like where they rob banks and stuff?
Yeah.
So
sort of.
Well, weren't they at like 12?
Yeah, but here's the thing though.
Do they know the sequence? And it's like, which one? 7. Like, no, man, you can't just go down now.
Well, here's the thing. Okay.
Ocean's 30, whatever.
In Hollywood's infinite wisdom and rationale, to cede a little bit of their power to having women in charge and giving them some original content to do, they've gone ahead and tossed them a bone, and they're remaking another Oceans, but with an all-female cast.
And they only have 8?
That's the thing. Yeah.
Because it takes 8 women for
I guess.
for 11 men.
Who the hell could say?
So wait, so they're just remaking the same movie, but
yeah.
so is their names like Danielle Ocean?
See, that's the thing. I was trying to figure out the thread, how they even got here, and I think that the main chick is like Danny Ocean's niece or some shit, right?
Yeah.
And then so I'm like, okay, fine. You want to call it Ocean's thing, but that's just fucking confusing. Like, what limp dick came up with that?
That's very confusing.
Right?
Like,
Let me put it this way. What if Oscar Schindler had a niece named like Samantha? Okay? Samantha couldn't just come up with, oh, here's Samantha, here's Schindler's bullet points. Like, oh, you thought Oscar Schindler? Like, no, I'm sorry. You get out of the list game, honey. Like, this is the same universe. If someone says, oh my god, Ocean's got a crew of 8, we find out it's Danny Ocean's niece. How is that even a thing? It's another series of the ongoing making all-female remakes of movies thing they've got going on. And what sucks about this is that across the board, I can't even think of an exception off the top of my head. They've all been exactly and completely shitty movies. Like, not one of them have been good, and I think that's by design. I'm gonna go ahead and say you can't follow my logic here. I've got a great movie coming down the pipeline, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this is a star maker. Okay, we're gonna give that to George Clooney though. But here's what I'll do for you. Okay, I've got this other piece of shit I stole the rights to. I'll just hand you the script and we'll reshoot the motherfucker, and you can just act in there. What do you think? Now it looks like I've got a woman leading my new big blockbuster. I don't have to come up with another script. And here's the best part. Not only does it not have to be good, I insist on it being shit. Because then, whenever you want to star in my next blockbuster, I could go, oh, but Clooney did better box office wise than you did, so I'm making a money decision here. And I'm going to make money on your film too, because even though it's a piece of shit, all I have to say is, oh, you're not going to go see it? You're that sexist that you're not going to go see this movie, huh? And everybody's going to come see it. Just picture this, okay? Picture if it was anybody else. Like, picture if it was just like Black Lives Matter and they came to the office and they said, no, you know what? How about we fucking have a black star for once in our lives? And I go, okay, Moonlight's coming out, but we're going to cast a white guy for that. And Training Day's coming out, but we're going to cast a white guy to star in that. But how about this, though? Okay, we'll remake Powder, but starring Flava Flav. What do you think? It's like, fuck you. That's not even an idea. And nobody would fall for that.
Not an idea. You're
Man.
damn right. That's a way of life. Don't pull this man up a seat.
It's just ridiculous.
God.
I mean,
damn,
I
this
couldn't
guy's
picture it if
good.
it's the other way around. If it was everything was all women and just white guys couldn't get a role in their life, and then I came in, I'm like, hey, listen, man, I just want to see one white guy on screen in the big seat. Can you do that for me? And they go, can we? Absolutely. I tell you what, Thelma and Louise. Okay, let's make it Theo and Lou and just starring
I'd watch that.
Paul Giamatti and
hold on
James
now.
Gandolfini. It would be beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I'm just saying it's bullshit.
What a cast.
It's bullshit, and the worst part is every time I want to
a whole lot
explain
of
this
flesh.
theory, I come off as sexist when I'm the only one going to bat. I'm the only one saying, fuck this, okay? Next time you get a Brad Pitt movie, next time Benjamin Button comes out, just call it Brianna Button and cast a chick. Let's not remake Benjamin Button and just cast a chick in there like it's a new thing. They don't give a shit. They're casting musicians in this thing. You know, like if Mark Wahlberg was one of the main characters of Ocean's 11, then I would have had a problem too.
But couldn't you also argue from the sake of they're trying to celebrate as many different kinds of women as they can from music and from movies and from art world? So what would you
Why?
say to someone like that? Well,
I would say, why? Why are you trying to celebrate people from different billion-dollar walks of life? It's one thing. They're not, you know, grabbing My Name is Malala to play this person. They're saying, oh, here's a person that can fetch a big check. Here's another person that can fetch a big check. Don't make this a humanitarian effort on their part.
so are you saying that giving women more movies is counterproductive?
I'm saying when the president does it, it's not a crime.
It's not illegal.
No, I'm not saying it. Wait, what was the question?
You seem to be sweating pretty profusely there, Jacob. I'm saying, so do you think it's counterproductive to give women more movies?
No, definitely not. I think that basically what's happened is a big Kansas City shuffle where it's one of those things where on paper it looks like a lot of shit's happening and it looks like a big movement and nobody understands that they're getting fucked and then they're fighting for the right to get fucked. It's what I'm saying is they're getting this shit into the stick and we're all having to buy into it for fear of being called sexist when nobody's asking the question of from whose point of view is an all-female Ghostbusters a good idea? Like an all-blank Ghostbusters. Fill it in with whatever you want. All fucking dogs Ghostbuster. It's a shitty idea for a movie. There's no reason for it. Like, I'm saying there's 100 great movies coming out that, you know, I think women are right, but not that way, for Christ's sake. Like, I can tell you right now, I don't want the scraps at the table, just repackage them and put a dude on top and say it's a new franchise. Like, just when Source Code came out, just instead of Jake Gyllenhaal, cast Maggie Gyllenhaal. Boom. Equally good movie, but now there's a girl in it. Fine. But don't now, 10 years later, remake Source Code and put a girl in it. That's stupid. We've already seen that movie. I don't need to see Ocean's 8. I don't care who's in it. If George Clooney signed back up, I don't need to see that movie, let alone...
So you're saying like the pressure on us to go along with this movement is keeping us quiet, like shifting our eyes back and forth, like having to take it when we're all getting screwed anyways.
That's exactly what's happening, because even you, whenever I started talking about this, I saw the look on your face. It's just like this uncomfortable, like, God, nobody's saying anything.
Yeah.
There's no way to broach the subject without sounding like it's a sexist thing.
I didn't want to have to actually tell you this, but I'm judging you pretty hard.
Yeah, it's the equivalent of like starting
suck.
something by saying, well, I'm not a racist, but it's like immediately
But clearly
you've
you're
lost
racist.
the room.
Yeah.
It's just, it's
Yeah.
the perfect fucking
Same
crime.
thing of like saying no offense, but
Yeah.
like no, there's some offense right there.
Yeah, and you knew it or you wouldn't have started it that way.
No offense, but you kind of smell right now.
Yeah, fuck you.
Mother, what? Okay, so you're saying like the content is more important than the actual just giving them of franchises.
Yeah, I'm saying it's a stupid ploy to begin with. I don't know how it got past the opening stages, but it pisses me off. And what really pisses me off is that there's no way that this is by accident. Like, there's no way people spent $1 billion making these movies and just it ended up sucking. They had no idea. Like, they read the script. They knew the... Like,
It's like, yeah, you show up to work that many days on set.
Yeah.
You gotta know this one kind of sucks.
every joke that's told on Scream, they get focus groups to come in and pick it apart. Like, nothing that you see is on accident. These are all very, very concise moves made, and we're all buying into it. I mean, you have to picture it. It's the guys that made these shitty movies. They don't care. They're getting paid for it, and it's basically a tax write-off. The next movie they make, next great script, they're gonna cast a bunch of dudes in there and say, "Well, we gave you guys the last one. You know, no big deal." And the girls in it, they get to pawn it off by either A, well, at least we're working, or B, yeah, but I'm making money, or C, yeah, but now I'm gonna be a good role model. So everybody's just justifying these turds.
So you're saying it's gonna make women less equal.
I mean, I guess all this pans down to lying, which is the same thing, where it's like, you know, if you lie to somebody and they hear certain, like, at what point can you just not believe the world anymore? You know, like if everyone around me tells me how thin I am, either A, I know they're fucking lying to me, so I have to not trust them a little bit, have to think bad about myself for accepting it, or B, I think, yeah, you know what, I guess I am pretty slim. And then when I do get slim and they don't change the words they're saying, I have to think, well, God, did anybody notice that I just lost 20 pounds? I mean, no one said shit except for what they were saying when I was eating Big Macs.
So you're more worried that people aren't noticing the truth, and then how do you actually reconcile that once you realize that?
Yeah, the truth gets drowned out when all you're speaking is lies. It's, what's the difference if it's getting the same result? I mean, shitty movies are getting made with all female casts, and so we're saying this is a good thing, and we're saying no, they're great movies, and we're saying, oh, you're sexist, you don't like them, or any of the other billion excuses. So yeah, next time it can't be good.
Have you ever also thought maybe you just lost touch with the times?
No, of course not. Certainly not. In fact, I think that's like saying that, you know, Chef Gordon Ramsay just lost touch with taste buds. It's like, no, you can start putting turds on a plate and saying it's gourmet, but you don't get to just say, oh no, you just lost sense of what tastes good if you don't like it. No, things objectively are better than other things. It's just a fact. My girlfriend prefers me, but that doesn't mean I look better than Brad Pitt. It just doesn't. It's just the way of it.
But you think there's just an objective, this is better?
Of course.
Explain yourself, sir.
Okay, Patriots play tomorrow, right? Okay. You think Tom Brady's a pretty good quarterback, right?
The best.
Okay. Now, Belichick decides at the line tomorrow, you know what? Brady, you're out. Jacob, I'm tossing you in. And I pad up, and they make me take the snaps.
Jacob, I believe in you.
Yeah, great. I believe in me, too. It doesn't mean that there's two sides to the story.
Some say he stands 7 foot tall.
Yeah, those people are called psychos. Okay, I mean, at the end of the day, the fact is Tom Brady is a better quarterback than me. That's that.
True. But then when you think about, like, so sports are very organized with a specific goal and a specific outcome. But when I look at, like, a movie, like, you could look at it in any number of realms, like whether it's, like, the box office, whether it's lasting power, like the cult classics, whether it's, like, just the artistic point. So in that aspect, I feel like when I'm looking at two movies together, it becomes more of an opinion kind of thing rather than an objective.
No, because then you take like you know, any Avengers. If we're talking box office, it's a better movie than Good Will Hunting, because as a fact it made more money. So yeah, if we're talking box office, that's a fact, and those are numbers and they can't lie. But if we're talking about different realms, like is something good or is it bad? There's 100 different ways to, you know, put that. Like Bridget Jones' Diary 3.
Sucked.
Yeah, I liked it. Now, was it a good movie? Fucking absolutely not. But I liked it. And that's the problem. People get all these things twisted around
like
where they think, oh, well,
somewhere.
I liked it, so it must be good. No,
Like,
you can like something that's bad and you can hate something that's good. Angelina Jolie, truth be told, she's not my type. I look at her, I think she's a great actress. I really, really do.
I think her face just shows too many problems.
Right? Like, but the thing is, though, I can see how she's beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, if she goes on a cover of a magazine, I fucking get it, man. She's got cheekbones and big lips and the whole deal. I get it. But she's not for me. She's not my type. And now that doesn't mean that I can say, no, she's bad looking, because she's not. Just as a simple matter of symmetry, of mathematics, she's attractive.
But when it comes to something closer, that's not black and white. Like, if it was like, hey, is it Jennifer Aniston or Angelina? Like, someone that's like, they're both high on a spectrum. At that point, how do you objectively say which is better when that it might turn into like an opinion?
Right. Well, okay. So when two things are neck and neck like that, like, because for Aniston it's the same situation. Where again we're talking about a girl who's not necessarily my type, but again.
What is your type, Jacob?
Haley, my lovely girlfriend, is my type. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, we get it, Haley. But let's get down to brass tacks.
You couldn't handle my type, buddy.
Oh yeah, try me.
Do we want to go down this road, or should we just stick to the?
No, keep going. So.
Okay, so.
Things that are close in nature.
Yeah.
How do you justify that there's not a subjective part of that?
Well, because first off, we only got to the subjective because we got through the objective, right? Like, the fact is, notice how we're not arguing that they're close in nature, right?
Yeah.
The same way that then when you throw in like, I again hate to keep doing it to the guy, but James Gandolfini, you toss him in and he's not right there
He
neck
did it
and
to
neck with them
himself.
look wise. I'm saying once you get things to their certain, they're good, like the perfect steak versus the perfect lobster. Like, you can argue which one's better. Then it's anybody's guess, but you have to get to that point first. You have to narrow it down to Jennifer Aniston and Angelina Jolie. We've noted down that those people are both up there among the top. They're both on a scale of beauty perfection. And then it just comes down to your personal taste. Do you like blondes or brunettes?
Well,
do you like...
But don't you have to also acknowledge that the gridded system in which you're measuring these things are from this only specific social system? Like,
But they got that way for a reason. And if I may,
you may.
okay,
Please.
it's
May.
it's math, it's science. I
June,
mean,
July, August.
so I come from a different culture, right?
Which one?
Where there aren't women. No, like, for argument's sake.
Oh, okay. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
disagree.
Yeah.
No, so let's say
I don't know what you...
let's say that I come from a different culture where, you know, I'm just in the middle of the jungle, right?
Yeah.
I'm basically a Jungle Book kid. Okay, I'm Mowgli.
Oh, yeah?
Let's say. And then I'll suddenly an
quite
airplane
a ride,
picks
man.
me up and they just drop me off into
Wait,
New York
How
City.
did they catch you?
I flagged them down.
So you wanted to be caught.
Absolutely.
This is interesting.
Yeah. Well, I wanted this exact scenario to take place. So okay.
You're
So,
a smart little jungle
I
dweller.
am, in fact. The point is, again, maybe certain things wouldn't be my taste and certain things would be, but I would be able to say just fine objectively that this person's better looking than that person, that this thing's better than that thing, because it's just how it is. I mean, like, you take like mating birds or any of that, it's not like one is into the disheveled, nasty bird and that's just, ooh, that's my key. Like, no, everyone knows what the best looking bird is. The best looking female bird gets with the best looking male bird, and so on and so on.
Well, all that...
Like, nobody is, you know, checking Johnny Depp to the side to go run after...
Yeah, James Gandolfini. No, I know. I agree that everything has to get structured and organized in order for us to make sense of anything, or otherwise there's just no meaning and there's no way to interact with things. But can't we also acknowledge that some of those interactions and things that we establish are quite arbitrary in the fact that, okay, the guy that has the hair that flips this way is better looking than the guy that has no hair? Because in any given situation, if we would have gone left or right, this whole another thing might have been attractive, like the sumo culture, right?
Uh-huh.
Like, all of a sudden, like, a big old fat dude is what is thrived upon.
No, but that's different.
How is that different?
That's different because having nice hair is just another attribute. So it makes sense that you take two identical people and you give one of them nicer hair, that person's up a notch, right?
Yeah.
Now, the sumo culture only works because...
Because those people are ass backwards.
because those fucking barbarians.
They're those savages.
No, it's the same way like you know, way back in the day, if a guy was way fatter or if a girl was way fatter, it was more attractive. And it wasn't because back then they had different tastes. It was because back then, if you were bigger, it meant that you had money, so you could afford to eat. So when you saw a bigger person, you weren't thinking,
was
oh,
a
I love
class
cellulite. Yeah, you were thinking, oh, meal ticket.
Healthy
Oh
status. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, interesting.
Which is, by the way, how come that healthy, you know, skin and hair and all that means the same thing? Because you see that stuff and you're thinking the same thing, but not monetarily. You're thinking on a genes
okay.
level, oh, here's a person who has better genes. There's the status of their cells are better.
So what happens in a society where if, let's say, for instance, in this new society, they stop valuing aesthetics of physical features at all, and they only valued, like, your personality based on, like, if you're compassionate, if you're giving, if you're this and you're that, and that became the thing that was objective.
Couldn't happen.
But, like, let's just say, for instance, like, if we took away the physical features and it was just that, what would happen in that situation?
If things would get super murky, what would happen is people would lie to claim that they had certain things. I mean, things like humor, you could pretend to be funny, you could pretend to laugh at jokes that you don't, but overall, yeah, certain people just would be funnier and you could tell. But then there's things like generosity and stuff like that. People would fake it. I'd be thinking, God, I want to just murder this person, but I'm going to help him cross the street because I know that that's going to make me come off like the Brad Pitt of our times.
Kind of how it is right now, isn't it?
Internally, yeah, but that, I mean, good thing that's just one indicator of a dozen, and it's kind of lower on the scale.
Yeah.
I mean,
so I guess what I'm really getting, because this is what I kind of think, that there are these definitions that we all have to agree upon in order to interact, but we all experience things from our subjective nature, in which case it's more of an interpretation of our things rather than a definition of it. But you're saying that even though we interpret things, there is without a doubt a right answer and a wrong answer. Like what is better, what is worse.
There has to be, otherwise we're not even talking. We're just in the corner gnawing off our own nipples.
What the fuck are you doing?
Right? Well, it's like...
James, get out of the corner!
It's like the old argument, just the thing of when you look at something that's orange and I look at something that's orange, are we seeing the same thing? Now,
Obviously.
subjectively, you might be looking at blue. Like, what you see as orange might be blue.
I've just always called it orange. And,
Right, yeah. But the important thing here is that you've always called it orange. And I've always called it orange. And when I point to something orange, we can both jinx each other by blurting out orange at the same fucking second. That's the important thing. The important thing is when you look at Jennifer Aniston, I look at Jennifer Aniston, despite our personal tastes, you don't go ugly and I don't go smoking. We both go, okay, that's that thing.
Yeah.
We look at a tree, it's that thing. Because now we have a way to interpret the world that we can agree upon. That way we can communicate. That way we can build castles.
This episode is brought to you by Knee Socks. Are you tired of not having socks for your knees?
You mean like long socks?
No, knee socks. Now, no more will you have to worry about falling on your knees without having knee socks.
So knee pads.
No, knee socks, silly.
Wait a minute, no. So socks just protect your feet from your shoes. So what knee socks? What are you?
Wait, what?
This is a stupid fucking product, man. Through and through. Listen, I didn't mean that, okay? I'm sorry.
No, I'm going through some other stuff right now. I mean, my dad just passed.
Oh, God.
I know, man.
Listen, I'm sorry.
I mean...
Just tell me you didn't take this to market yet, because...
It's too late. We went public yesterday. He told me, Nick, there's one thing I want you to do for you before I go. You sell these knee socks.
I was in the room. He said Nissans, Nick. He wanted you to continue being a car dealer. You didn't think it was weird that your dad, who owns the biggest Nissan retail shop in America, wanted you to sell knee socks?
Ah, that makes a little more sense. Well, I've got a shitload of knee socks, so what are we gonna do now? Knee socks! We now reach the point of the program. It's time for...
Oh, fuck me.
Nick's Minute. Hi guys, welcome to Nick's Minute. Today I figured we'd sing some songs. This is a goodie. Here it goes. I've been working on the railroad. I've been working on the railroad all live long day. Working on the railroad, you cannot get away. And them eyes in Texas are upon you. Only early in the morning, the eyes of railroad are upon you. Till that Gabriel blows his That was Nick's Minute. I'm glad you guys stopped by.
There's absolutely nothing creepier in this world than a grown man singing, I've been working on the railroad.
Oh, yeah, well, it takes one to know one. I'm Nick the Cephalopod.
Jacob the Gorgonite.
Damn it. I wanted to be the Gorgonite. Nick the Commando Elite. Here on the Jacob and Nick Show.
Jacob and Nick Show. Beep,